Ahora sí con ustedes, Rose Spicer, Director de Marketing Américas para Soluciones de Retail.
Buenos días. Lo siento, necesito practicar mi español. De hoy hablo en inglés. So there's translation if you need it. So I wanted to thank you for having me. I wanted to just kind of give you a little bit of perspective on the retail industry. I'm actually lucky because I get to work with retailers, and I get to tell my husband that shopping is research. I also get to work with a lot of really great customers, a lot of great executives in our customer base. So what I'm going to do is walk you through one of the most recent executive summits that we did in June. We had a variety of different customers presenting, so I'm going to give you some highlights on that. There's a couple different places that we actually participate throughout the year. I'm excited to work with my colleagues here to bring some of that to Mexico, to share with you some of the different stories and things like that. We're really focused on building community, and so we have programs that we invest in at Oracle Open World. I think all of you may have heard about that. That's in San Francisco in October. And then we have a big presence at NRF, and we plan to partner with Antod to actually bring an experience for you guys to NRF. So what I'm going to talk you through is what we recently did in June, where we brought together some really great customer stories, a variety of different executives. So we had over 250 people coming to Chicago. We had over 117 companies coming to Chicago representing 18 different countries. So it was a really nice global audience. I think my favorite part about the program, though, is working with the customers. So I actually was lucky enough to work with a variety of different customers. I'm responsible for the reference program for retail, for Oracle. So I get to know a lot of these different customer executives, understand how they're using our solutions, and then having them talk about that and give a presentation to explain to other retailers how they're using them. So there was a lot of best practice sharing, there was a lot of trends and different discussions and things like that. So I'm going to give you a little preview of some of the highlighted customers. All of the information from these presentations will be available in an online community, and I'll talk you through that when we get to the tail of the presentation. Some of the speakers, we had a really nice mix of speakers. We had grocers, Morrison's from the UK. We also had GPA from Brazil. In the fashion space, we had Abercrombie Fitch as well as Hot Topic and Talbots. In the hardline space, we had Disney stores as well as Petco, and then department stores, we had folks like Kohl's from Wisconsin, not Australia, and Saks Fifth Avenue. So some really cool different things, and we brought it together in different ways. So just to kind of move into some of the customer stories, I think everybody knows Abercrombie and Fitch pretty well, maybe specifically for their gorgeous models. One of the things that's really cool about Abercrombie and Fitch is since 2009, they've actually launched 99 stores in different countries. So it's 99 stores. The latest one is actually happening right now, so if you're following them on Facebook, you can actually see some of the imagery and things they're launching in Hong Kong. I think the coolest thing about it, though, is they actually use the Oracle infrastructure with the merchandise operations management and the store solutions, and they've reduced their ability to move into new countries from 18 months to 3 days, which is pretty fantastic. So obviously, in all of these implementations, we understand it's process, people, technology, and we're really excited to be part of that. I think a couple of unique things about their implementation is that they actually have single global instance to support different countries. So the infrastructure and the investment that they made is somewhat unique, and it's pretty neat the way that they've rolled it out. The next one I want to talk to you guys about, you guys probably are pretty familiar with Falabella. I think one of the coolest things about Falabella is the way that they're really taking e-commerce by storm and kind of moving through. They selected the Oracle HG platform, which is a new acquisition for us. We're pretty excited about that. But the thing that was most appealing to them was the complexity of the promotions that they can handle within the ATG solution. And so they've grown to 4 different countries, but they really are exemplifying the connected interaction and the customer experience, where they actually have e-commerce and then they ground that within the store experience. So it's pretty fantastic to kind of walk into their stores and then kind of follow through with an online consistent experience. All of this material, you don't have to, I know it's a lot to read. So all of this material will be available. We have a microsite for you guys to download. So I just want to kind of give you the highlights on this and not walk through every single bullet and slide and things like that. So I'm going to kind of let you absorb it. With Talbots is actually undergoing a transformation themselves. These guys have actually been a long-standing retailer within the U.S. They focus on age groups, probably about 30 to 50 years old. They have women's apparel, accessories, shoes, etc. They've actually had kind of a tough time and they've been struggling, so they're transforming the way that they approach the market, and they're really trying to understand and get to know their customers. So what they're doing is they're stepping back and they're implementing some technology on the back side of it, like size profile optimization. They're actually looking at merchandise financial planning to make sure that their inventory is performing as well. They're doing a unique thing, and there's a full presentation. This just kind of pulls it forward for you guys. There's a full presentation that you guys can download to take a look at some of the tips and tricks and best practices that they'd share with you. But I think the neat thing is that they're doing store segmentations. So when they look at a market, they actually take a look at the stores and what the demographics are, and then actually plan against those stores to really identify with those customers and demographics in the particular market. Then we look at a company that's actually transforming more from a manufacturer to a retailer. Deckers has brands that you might recognize, like Uggs. I personally think they should be called Oh My Gods because they're so comfortable. The really cool thing about these guys is they're actually building a foundation for growth with all of the different solutions. They're in the process of implementing. They've gone live on the merchandise operations management, planning and optimization, store inventory management, point of sale. So they have full visibility into their inventory, into their operations. They're really building that foundation because they have an aggressive timeline. I don't know if you guys see it there, but growing from 20 stores to 200 stores in 5 years is somewhat aggressive when retail is new to you. So you guys that are established retailers understand how hard it is being established and then growing into a space that you're unfamiliar with. So we're pleased to be part of that new adventure. I think one of the things that's pretty cool is we actually had Mr. Price from South Africa present and talk about their e-commerce strategy. A year ago, they actually came to Crosstalk and they met with a bunch of different retailers and were in an evaluation stage. They already own some of our core applications, but they were looking at a variety of different solution providers. They had the opportunity to actually meet and talk with all the different customers that were at Crosstalk to validate and figure out if that was the right platform, if it was going to work. So not only did they select Oracle Retail, but they went live in 10 months. The other cool thing about the Mr. Price presentation itself is it actually provides top five tips or recommendations to move from a bricks and mortar to an omni-channel retailer. So it's got some really good content in there, and they did a lot of research. They actually traveled the globe to figure out the differences in the commerce and the mobile. So in South Africa, the mobile devices are actually better adopted than the online shopping experience. So they went live with mobile before they did with the online. So it's kind of a cool story to understand. And then we also brought in some different customers from different spaces. So a lot of times retailers want to learn from retailers, and we had a really robust program and we were really proud of that. But sometimes it's interesting to look at hospitality and actually draw from different industries to learn best practices. So one of our latest and greatest acquisitions is Oracle and Deca. Oracle and Deca is one of the most popular and successful platforms for the search engines within retail. So we're super excited to have that part of the product portfolio that we can offer. And within the Marriott presentation, they talked about all the different ways that they're trying to actually get with their travelers, get with their customers, and personalize the experience for that moment that they're engaging with the brand. So kind of a cool way to take a look at it. I know this is a lot to digest. We can have a conversation on the break and talk about more customers. There's a whole host of knowledge in my head and in my heart as working with all these guys and lots of different presentations and testimonials and things like that I'd be more than happy to talk to you guys about. I think one of the things is that we're incredibly proud of our customers and proud to be part of their success. This year we actually hosted the Oracle Retail Excellence Awards. The winner for Outstanding Business Achievement, Abercrombie Fitch, I think that 18 months to 3 days kind of speaks for itself in a lot of ways. Urban Outfitters, I don't know how familiar you guys are. In the United States, Urban Outfitters has urban as well as anthropology. And these guys have the HEG solution to actually bring the online experience to their customers, but then they have in-store, and they've actually started to implement a mobile point of sale so people can actually make the decision in the dressing room. So they can actually capture them before they have a chance to rationalize their purchases at the point of sale. Those of us who are shoppers know that's a reality. And then the Innovator of the Year, Disney Store. I've got a little bit more to talk about on Disney Store. Disney Store is one of my personal favorites. We've done some really cool stuff with these guys. Disney Store actually went from concept to pilot in 20 weeks with the store solutions. They were really trying to reinvent. I don't know if you guys know the history of the Disney Store brand, but they actually were the Disney Store. They sold it off to the Children's Place, and when they brought it back in-house, they brought a gentleman by the name of Ron Johnson, who's the CEO of JCPenney today. Ron actually was responsible for bringing Apple to retail. So I think looking around the room and seeing all the iPhones and things like that, I think he's got some magic that he actually brought to Disney. Kind of ironic. But when they brought it back in-house, Disney really wanted to recreate and do this customer experience, and so they adopted RFID technology in their stores. They adopted mobile point of sale, which is where Oracle comes in. They adopted all of the beauty and the magic of Disney, kind of bringing the animation and bringing all of the things that you experience when you go to the parks into the store. And so Disney actually launched in 7 countries, 7 languages, 4 currencies in 16 months. So pretty fantastic accomplishment, so hence the Innovator of the Year. And then the CIO of the Year, Mike Laurenti of Belk, they're undergoing a full transformation in their infrastructure and foundation. And so Mike is taking on quite a few different things and kind of reworking the way that they handle their architecture. And then we've already talked about Falabella, so we were happy to honor Julian Odian from Falabella as the Executive of the Year. There's a lot of fun to be had in retail. I think you guys are aware of this. We've done a lot of different customer campaigns where we've tried to actually bring the customer experience to life, and so we were lucky enough to actually work with Disney Store at NRF and take their Times Square launch and actually bring it to life on the NRF floor a couple years back. And so just some cool different ways to kind of go to market with our customers. But it was actually the store associates who were taking the store solutions and actually demonstrating them on Oracle's behalf within our booth. So that just is a testament to how easy it was for them to actually impart that knowledge on other people. So kind of a cool user experience. And then there's other different things that we've done from a community standpoint, where we've actually partnered with charities like Retail ROI, which is an initiative that's focused on helping orphans throughout the world. And so we partnered up with Build-A-Bear, who is an Oracle HEG customer, to actually bring that forward and do something good for the community. So we were able to raise $13,000 and save the lives of 300 kids in Africa. So pretty proud of that one, as well as having some pretty cute teddy bears as well. So the important part about that is that they're an Oracle HEG customer, that they actually were providing an experience, so we thought to take it to the next level. So I've given you a lot of information, a lot of customer data. The place that we actually host all of this, that you guys can pull the information down. There's, like I said, all of the different case studies that I popped up here. There's detailed presentations that have best practice sharing, that have tips, tricks, different things, different ways that you can actually learn from the different retailers in the U.S. We thought about having a customer case study here and have them present and talk to you about how they're using the solutions, but we thought maybe we actually package up the crosstalk experience and talk to you about all the different customers and more customers, and then you guys can take a look. There's video testimonials, there's customer presentations, there's all sorts of information that you can pull down from different retailers within that space. And then we have a pretty strong social media presence to kind of stay in touch with all the different things that we have going on within Oracle Retail. There are a variety of different of us that are going to be here at the breaks if you guys want to dive into any of the case studies or talk more about the customers and things like that. Happy to do that. So that's it. Thank you.
Gracias a Rose Spicer. Y a continuación les invitamos a tomar un receso de coffee break con tiempo de 15 minutos. Adicionalmente también les invitamos a pasar a los stands de nuestros otros patrocinadores, Naptec y Elvis, así como a hablar con ejecutivos de Oracle en charlas 1-on-1. Gracias.